Hello and welcome to another edition of Richland's 30 Minutes. I'm Mike Charbonneau, your captain of communication for the city of Richland.
That was pretty good.
Hey,
I'm proud of you. And I'm just the boring Gail Everett, communications and marketing specialist for the city of Richland. This month we have taken our show to the historic Uss Triton Sail Park, which is located at Port of Benton Boulevard and 11th Street in Richland. The sail park was dedicated on November 10th, 2011, exactly 52 years after she was first commissioned.
And at that time of her commission in 1959, Triton was the largest, most powerful, and most expensive submarine ever built. In early 1960, the USS Triton became the first marine vessel to circumnavigate the world underwater, and she was the first United States vessel to be powered by 2 nuclear reactors.
And interestingly enough, the Triton's nuclear reactor compartments are among those that have been buried at Hanford. The port rents space to the Navy so that submarine nuclear reactor compartments can be trucked to Hanford for long-term storage. The partnership with the Port of Benton and the Navy is among the reasons that the port decided to create the sail park and dedicate it to the memory of veterans, especially those who have served in the Navy's submarines.
This park is another exciting way we celebrate and remember our region's rich history, a history that most famously began in the 1940s with the construction of the first full-scale nuclear reactor. Over the past 10 years, many oral Hanford stories have been collected by several Tri-Cities organizations, but a new partnership believes that there are many, many more stories that still need to be captured and preserved before they are lost forever as the older generation passes away. And now they're asking for your help to save our history.
We are conducting oral history interviews. This is part of a Hanford history partnership. Several groups in the community thought it would be really important to document the history of both the communities that existed prior to 1943, Hanford and White Bluffs and so forth, and then early Hanford site history. And so we are conducting oral history interviews of both residents who lived in those communities before 1943, and also with people who worked at the Hanford site during World War II and the early Cold War years. In part, it's to preserve these memories for future generations. We're losing people almost every day. We're losing early Hanford workers. We're losing people who lived there before 1943. If we don't get the interviews now, we're probably never going to get them. And I teach history classes to college students. The college students I teach now, many of them were born after the Cold War ended. So to hear stories from people who worked at Hanford during World War II and the Cold War, and they learn more about what was really happening at these nuclear sites during the Cold War, what it was all about, is a way to learn about the past that they can't from a textbook, right? They can't from a lecture, but from someone who lived it. And so it's really important to capture those now.
The Hanford History Partnership is a collaborative effort of Washington State University Tri-Cities, the Richland Public Library, and other regional organizations that currently house Hanford's oral histories. Their mission is to collect, safeguard, and showcase these oral testimonies so that a lasting legacy of Hanford's heritage may be carried forward for the educational benefit of future generations. If you would like to tell your tales, visit the Hanford History Partnership's webpage at ourhanfordhistory.org and help give new life to early history at Hanford.
Very good.